Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down tonight. Come on. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Everything gonna be alright. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down today. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. It's a great place to stay.
Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. We are about to go live on cavecrewradio.com, YouTube and Facebook. Please share the show and remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. And please leave us your comments too. Get ready. It's going to be another big show with all the latest hot topics, pop culture and weird news. Ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, here are your hosts, DK and the Big B.
Back again for number 10. Join Big B, DK, and Mike Jolitz for all the hot topics, weird news, and shenanigans. It's Cave Crew Radio, Season 10 at cavecrewradio.com.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Season 10, believe it or not. We've been at this quite a long time. I am DK, of course, joined by Big B.
Hi there.
We're not going to waste a lot of time on the pre-show because one of the things coming up on the actual show is our annual Death Watch. I don't mean to sound morbid, but where the folks in the Cave Crew Radio Facebook group, you in the chat, Big B and myself, exchange who we think is going to pass in 2023. And then, of course, a Mike Jolitz double feature. We got news. We got all kinds of stuff. It all depends what we get to. And what we don't get to this week, we always get to next week. So don't you worry about it. We'll get to the important stuff. Big B, you have in front of you the picks from the 2022 Death Witch.
Yes, Death Watch. Yes, as you said, every year at the very beginning of the year, first show of the year, we make our picks for the upcoming year. So last year at this time, we were making the 2022 Death Watch picks.
Yes.
And do you want me to announce the winner first?
Lots of participants this year. I'm excited.
Well, we had actually a lot of participants last year. If you'd like me to go through them quick, and then I'll tell you who the winner was.
Yeah, who actually got them? That's the.
So I said Jimmy Carter, Paul Simon, and Michael J. Fox. None of them passed.
Nope.
Amanda had Pat Sajak, Donald Trump, and Steven Spielberg. None of them passed.
None. Still with us.
My wife, Mrs. B, had Ghislaine Maxwell, William Shatner, and Dolly Parton. None of those
were passed. Three good picks.
They were, but none of them passed.
None.
Mike Jolitz last year said, again, Ghislaine Maxwell. He said Joe Biden and Michael J. Fox. None of them passed.
Everyone's writing old poor Michael J. Fox off.
He's not doing well. Chris Apthorpe jumped in before the whole Pucks and Pints thing. He was a listener in the chat. He jumped in and said Randy Travis, Jim Carrey, and Vince Neil. None of them passed.
No, Randy Travis died.
Did he? No, I thought he was still alive.
I'm sure he did.
No, he got arrested. He's not.
Oh, okay.
Choo Choo Stew gave us Mike Tyson, Bob Dylan, and Tom Cruise.
I can't wait for Choo Choo Stews this year.
You, DK.
Yeah, I was off real.
You said Bob Barker, Dick Van Dyke, and Britney Spears.
Oh, so I was kind of keeping the line. And those two fuckers are still alive.
They're still alive. Kevin Schmidt, who jumped in chat, said Joe Biden, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Mike Love of Beach Boys.
Oh, and they're all still
alive.
And I don't mean to interrupt you while you're reading this, but I see there's people in chat. If you have not yet given your three, put it in chat with your name, and Big B will write it in a book that we will show you once we get on camera.
Yes. I already have several entries in, but please enter yours. You have more than enough time.
It's not too late.
It is not too late.
Yeah.
Scott Morris, Scotty, producer Scotty from last year, he only gave us 2. He said Joe Biden and Paul McCartney.
Yeah, both still here.
And finally, we came to Jason Scott, who said he always goes with almost the sure bets.
Yeah.
He chose the oldest person on this planet, Lucille Randone, who's still alive.
I don't even know who that is.
Is the oldest woman alive.
I wonder if she has like a smartphone and we could interview her on the show.
She's like 114 years old. Or how old she is. So I doubt it. He said Betty White, but the Betty White died before the year turned to 2022. She died in December of 2021. So he did not get in on that. But
yeah, she not pass right at the deadline, I think.
Like New Year's Eve. Yeah. But and this is our winner. Jason Scott won with Queen Elizabeth.
Right. So he was the only one that picked the Queen and the only one that picked someone that passed. I feel guilty doing this in a way. But
everybody does it.
I know we all do it. But Jason Scott, you're a winner. Chicken dinner. You're not getting anything. We'll send you a coupon to McDonald's or Domino's or something.
Come on, he should be paying us with his big winnings from New Year's.
Yes, Jason Scott stuck a $5 in a machine, showing off with Amanda, and I just wonder when he won. See, I'm curious because they also had Chinese food tonight, so I'm curious about it. Do they order in English or do they like talk to the Chinese people in French?
Oh, I don't know.
Like when they order a number 2, do they c'est un ledoux with a extra le gravat?
I don't know. That would be Jason Scott says in Dutch.
Yeah, he's always.
I have a question for Jason Scott with all his winnings from New Year's Eve. You think maybe he can ship some fucking Blue Mountain pottery my way?
Yeah, and by the way, Jason, when you win, do you say winner or gagne? You know, when you play the lottery tickets, it always says that in Canada. Winner, gagne.
Like Vern Gagne?
Yes, the French have the weirdest words for everything. It makes no sense. None of the words they say. Like we call what we're wearing from Jimmy's here hats. They call them chapeau.
Chapeaus.
Where the fuck do you come up with that shit?
I took 3 years of French in high school. I don't read. The only thing I remember how to say is hello, my name is.
Oh, je m'appelle.
Je m'appelle.
Yeah.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Big B.
Or Dick Gunna, his son. See, Mike knows how to order Chinese food. All right.
Dick Gunna, his son.
That's a possible show name, Dick Gunna.
I gotta get to a different page. Hold on, because I have to write more.
Yeah, you got double duty tonight. You got tough things going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are less than a minute away.
Some Facebook user says they're driving but listening.
It's okay you're driving and listening, but I don't think you should be typing.
And if you are going to type and risk, hitting an abutment and crashing, type your name too, so we know who at least.
I can, because I have not yet entered my Death Watch for 2023 Facebook user. You could be my pick.
That's true. Typing while texting while driving could be a late entry. Whoever Facebook user is could be a late entry into the Death Watch. That's
got to be a first, right? I'm driving, but I'm listening. Right. But you sent a fucking message in chat. And guess who's here?
Short Sigh.
It's going to be a great night. Short Sigh back for season 10. Short Sigh, if you want to type in chat, we're going live right now. We're looking for 3 people you think are going to die in 2023. You still got time to think about it. You can enter right there in chat. All right, guys, I got to get the pulse stock going here. That's the very first thing I do, and all they do is hear my voice because I'm getting ready to get started. But here we go, season 10.
Air traffic control, bringing New York. Roger that. Bringing Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start. Roger, we have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1.
Bam! We are back again for number 10. Cave Crew Radio, Season 10. Let's go. CaveCrewRadio.com.
This is radio. Cave Crew Radio.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clevin, what else are you gonna do with it?
to alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first show of 2023, season 10. Yes, indeed, we're back again. We, of course, are going to do our Death Watch 2023. If you're in chat and you haven't given your responses, just type them in there. Big B will add them to the list. Weird news, double feature, Mike Jolitz, DK's tip of the week, major announcements, all kinds of fun stuff coming up here in season 10 that we have not done before, but we'll do it this year. And it's great to have everybody here. I hope you had a happy new year, yada, yada. We are live on all the affiliates that are, we're syndicating on all the affiliates that are on our website at cavecrewradio.com, which we are live. We are live right now at Pulse Talk Radio in England and on YouTube and on Facebook. If you missed the 2022 Death Watch, you will have to go back to our YouTube station and get the recap that Big B gave us. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to get into, so guess who's here?
And now, he is the king of the sovereign county of Urain Stench and Stenchlandia, the commander-in-chief of the Water Gypsies, the self-proclaimed president of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness, Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am King B, King of Stenchlandia and the Water Gypsies, your President-elect of the United States of America, and as always, the epicenter of something this week, and it's been the entire week. I am the epicenter of sending repeated instructions to those that can't follow repeated instructions. We've all been there.
Yep,
We've
been
all
there.
been there. And I work in IT, so it gets even more complicated if people don't know how to, turn on a computer. So we're going through a project where we're changing email addresses, and I have to change everybody's. And I sent out instructions. You're going to be logged out of your email. Just log back in with this format. Your password's not going to change. All you have to do is that. And then I get continued messages. It's not, I'm trying to log into my email, but it won't let me log in. Did you use the new format? No, I didn't know we were using a new format. I don't know how to do this. What's my password? I don't know. As I said, your password doesn't change. And this has been all week long. And since I'm on the East Coast and I have people on the East Coast and I have people on the West Coast, and we're preparing to do people in Asia, it's all day long and up into late the nighttime. I'm getting questions.
Are you getting overtime?
There's no we don't get paid by the hour. I get salary, so there's no overtime.
Oh, so if someone pings you right now,
yep,
I can't remember my password.
Right.
You're on.
I can ignore it and just say, I wasn't near me because, I could say it is 8:00 on, my time. It's still 5:00 on the East Coast. I'm sorry, the West Coast. So I could just say, it's 8:00. I was doing stuff with the family. I'll get to you tomorrow, maybe. But it's going to be all weekend into next week. And we've all been there. And it's just a pain in the ass because I always say, whenever I do these things, I send out very detailed instructions and I send screenshots of what it's going to look like when applicable. And there is just a certain group of people that either one, don't read it, or two, read it and truly don't understand, and three, just ignore everything around them and
just skim the email.
Right. Yeah.
And I get that too. At work. I mean, sometimes I got to read the email 2 or 3 times to digest it.
Mm.
But before I ask a question, I make sure that I really have a good question.
Correct.
Like I've tried exactly what you're saying, and it does not work.
Right. And I'll do the same thing. If I got to do something and somebody sends me instructions, all right, I'll keep going back and forth to the email and make sure everything is lining up with the instructions. And then at that point, like you said, if it doesn't work, okay, I've done steps 1 through 10, whatever you said, and I'm still getting this error. Let's start troubleshooting. But I'm getting people I'm just getting people. And the dumbest one is I had a person ask me on last Friday, what is my email going to be? And I sent it to them. I said, no problem. Here's what your new email is going to be. We're gonna change your email on Monday. On Monday, after that email is changed, that same person came back to me and said, I'm trying to log into my email. It's not letting me log in. What are you logging in with? And they give me their old email address. I said, we just talked about this on Friday. Oh yeah. And that's one of the easier ones.
And hey, with us, like producing a show, sometimes it doesn't go. Sometimes it doesn't air here. Sometimes there's no sound. But we fuck around until we figure it out. There is no help center for us.
Right.
We just figure it out. Now, I did want to ask you, as you're listing your, names of things, president-elect, water gypsies, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. And I can't really right now get a new one produced, but would you like to add yourself as the self-proclaimed Republican Speaker of the House, for fuck's sakes?
I should be, right? I didn't even think about that. With all that's been going on in my world this week, I didn't even think about that. I should be named Speaker of the House.
They can't even support their own party.
It's a mess. It's an utter utter mess. And it makes this country look even more stupid. We got a brain dead imbecile as the president, a cackling hen as the vice president, and we can't even elect a speaker of the House.
And you realize nothing happens.
Nothing. Not one thing can happen until a speaker gets elected, because all the members that are sitting there voting on the speaker have not been officially sworn in to become congressmen and women.
You're right.
Not until the speaker gets elected. So we're just sitting here. So I believe I should be, and maybe next week, if we still do not have a speaker, next week I may add that during my intro. You don't have to produce one. I will throw it in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
It is. Yeah, it's.
There's now infighting in the Republican Party.
And you got somebody like Matt Gaetz who nominates a different person every day. If you're going to block McCarthy, at least nominate the same freaking person every single time.
Right. Did you see the person that nominated Donald Trump? That was my
Matt
favorite.
Gaetz. Matt Gaetz nominated Jim Jordan, who I think is a real good candidate. Byron Davies, who's another good candidate that should be in there. Donald Trump. I think he's nominated somebody else that I can't think of. Every single time he nominates somebody different.
Right. If you're going to win a vote, folks, you got to get behind your guy. Big B, this is the big event of the night. And if you missed the 2022 recap on the pre-show, it will be available on YouTube, on the Cave Crew Radio YouTube channel. This is something we've been doing for quite some time. We will say we declared Jason Scott as the winner because he did pick the Queen.
Yes.
So this is your last chance, ladies and gentlemen, those of you in chat. I see there's people in chat. If you have not sent Big B your nominations, I won't say requests, now is your last chance. I have not submitted mine, but I have mine in my hand.
And I would say, Short Side, I see you in there. Submit your 3 nominations. What 3 public figures, celebrities, politicians, whatever, do you think will die in 2023? Musicians, any public figure.
Or you're going to knock your wife off. You just got to give us her real name. That's it.
Then suddenly, if it happens, we're like, we're called into court somewhere in Short Size in England. So we gotta call into, and I could wear my wig. I could wear my wig and go into court and say, no, I'm taking over this proceeding.
Right. This is a comedy show, for fuck's sakes.
I would sit there with my wig on at the highest court I would have the highest court of urine stench alley in Parliament saying you can't handle the truth.
Right. I love it. All right. So show the book that you have. You each and every year. This is our second book, right?
No, that's still the first book. I have some pages. I got a second book, but I still have some pages left. So,
so this is the water damaged.
The original water damage book is down there somewhere.
Yeah,
that was before we got these. I had just gotten a regular notebook.
Oh, yeah, like a regular notebook. But folks, if you want to order one, you can order one on cavecrewradio.com and play at home. Write show names and notes down and
we have different ones. Like I have one for the hockey show. I have one for here.
Right.
I have a third one that I can pull out. Hold on.
Oh, he pulled himself right out of the screen, ladies and gentlemen. So I will tell you, this is a brand new season. This is season 10. Hopefully Big B comes back and didn't completely disengage himself, or I've got backup plans. I can always I can always go back to one of the Mike Jolett segments. This is why we keep things. So things are moving around your screen. All right.
I'm here. I'm back.
Don't touch things.
I moved my screen because I have a laptop and I almost closed it. So that turned everything off. But I have this is the new book that will take place of this book once this
I thought you had a new book. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
This one. So,
and there will also be a new book available for season 10 when we release the t-shirts very soon.
Right. So you can order your own book and make notes of the show, play at home. play at home or use it at your job.
Yeah, or use it at your job. Yeah,
it would be a conversation piece.
Exactly, and tell them all about us. All right, so before I get, I'm going to leave mine till the end because I want to see what everybody picked. But let's see. Jason Scott, the defending champion, and several others have entered in our Death Watch this year. What do you have?
So I'll start with our defending champion, who is Jason Scott. He again kind of towed the line of the very aged folk. He starts off with Bob Barker.
Yeah, that man's immortal, I'm telling you.
And I hope Jason loses because he always cheats and gets the oldest people.
Oh, he's a cheater.
But I will give him credit for this one. I didn't know this person existed. Harold V of Norway, who is I didn't look him up, but I'm assuming he's a direct descendant of King Harald Finehair, who is the original king of Norway back in 900.
Can we get a storyline on this next week?
Well, King Harold was like one of the original king of Norway, one of the Vikings, and this was like the year 980 something that he became king. So I didn't know there was a Harold V. And he also says Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, she comes up every year, and Hillary keeps letting us down. She hasn't disappeared yet.
She has not. But there will be other options for Hillary as we move on.
Okay.
Let's move over to Amanda. Speaking of Jason Scott with Amanda. Amanda says she gave some really interesting ones. She says Johnny Depp.
Oh.
She says
Morgan come back. Just won that big lawsuit.
And maybe what's her face tries to kill him, so she doesn't have to pay the money. She also says Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that'd be sad.
That would be sad because he's the voice of everything.
Everything, yeah. Everyone's autobiography is
right.
Morgan
everything.
Freeman.
And I would have to watch Shawshank on a loop like all day long.
Oh, geez, you'd be mourning for months.
What a great movie that was. And Rod Stewart, she says.
He's getting up there.
He is. We'll move on to Chris Apthorpe. He comes in and he's towing the line of the aged like there's no tomorrow. He's almost worse than Jason Scott. Chris Apthorpe says Clint Eastwood. He says Gene Hackman.
Oh.
And he says Dick Van Dyke. Hold while I write Short Size.
Yeah, Short Size has got his picks in. What are they here? Andy of the ABBA group.
Okay.
Clint Eastwood again. And Shane McGowan from the Pogues. He has new teeth, but he's fucked. I wish that could be a show note.
Shane McGowan.
Okay, we got you, Short Side. Thanks for chiming in. I was going to go back to Apthorpe, though. Dick Van Dyke seems to be immortal. Clint Eastwood, and Luke. I don't know.
He keeps going, though. I mean,
I want to change one of my answers to I'm listening, but I'm driving and I'm texting to you while I'm doing it.
Oh, you know who that was? That was Amanda.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to change your answer to Amanda, it's
no, I don't. I definitely don't. I'll speak to her in private about these habits.
You know what surprised me is, as we're still talking about Chris's entries, was Gene Hackman. I didn't realize he's like 94, 95 years old.
They're all getting up there.
I didn't really I always think of Gene Hackman in all the movies like, Hoosiers and
he's never changed.
No, he hasn't. He really hasn't.
People age as we watch them through movies, but Gene Hackman has always looked the same.
It's crazy. And as I saw something was last year or whatever it was that he was finally retiring, and I was like, oh, he's been around that long. Holy crap! It's not somebody you think about that would be in their 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gene Hackman surprised me. So then, we did Chris again. Just to recap, Short Side, who just entered, any of the ABBA group, Clint Eastwood and Shane McGowan of the Pogues.
Yeah. Who got new teeth, but he's fucked.
Yes. Let's move on over to our special guest from last week, Choo Choo Stew.
Choo Choo Stew. He always has good ones.
Now, Choo Choo Stew also answered Shane McGowan, ironically enough.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know the Pogues very well.
Oh, he's the guy with the teeth, but he's fucked. Okay, I got you.
Right. But I don't know the Pogues group very well.
Yeah, I've heard their music, but just refer to him from now on as the guy with the new teeth, but he's fucked. I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know exactly who you're talking about.
So Stu says Shane McGowan, Ellen DeGeneres, and Tiger Woods.
Okay. I won't say anything till the end of the year.
Okay. Facebook user, hi. I don't know who that is. Facebook user,
hello,
please.
Facebook user. Thank you for joining us. If you have three picks for who you think is going to die in 23, we haven't closed the segment out yet.
What is Mike Charlotte saying?
Pogue Mahone Gaelic for Kiss My Ass. Learning so much about the Pogues tonight.
Well, speaking of Mike Jolitz entries are Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, you seem to write him off.
He was big last year on the picks.
Yeah.
He may be big this year on the picks. We still got more to come. Michael J. Fox, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, he hasn't been well, has he?
He has not been well in a while. And he said Channing Tatum. That would be a shocker, but that's a wild card thrown in. That's a wild card.
What are we writing Channing Tatum off for? Syphilis?
Who knows? Some of these people, like throughout the year, you realize they're like 41 or whatever, and they die from whatever. So you never know.
But it's so hard to pick the young ones, right? Because whoa, they just off themselves,
right. But that's why it's a wild card. So he's picking a wild card in Channing Tatum.
Good pick. Okay.
I got my wife, Mrs. B. She picked Dolly Parton.
We've heard that one before.
She picked a potential Hillary Clinton target, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Oh. Let's put a star by that one.
That is a potential Hillary Clinton target.
Might have a double hit, just laying in Sam Bankman-Fried.
Ooh, you never know. And she also threw in as a wild card, another one of the younger ones, Will Wheaton.
Yeah, he's a strange guy, right? He played Wesley on Star Trek Next Generation.
Star Trek, yeah.
And he was recently on Celebrity Jeopardy and had a very big run on there. And I'm watching him, I'm going, you're fucking weird, man. But I think he struggled with mental health. And listen, if you're struggling with mental health, call the number. I don't have it handy, but it's out there on the web. But yeah, he's a strange biscuit, that kid.
Yeah, it was. I was shocked when she sent it over to me. But those are her picks.
Yeah, did you see him on the Celebrity Jeopardy?
I did not know.
He was like he just fucking opened an Xbox. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I won. I used to love. He was a great character in the Star Trek back then. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's doo-doo. I hope not, though. I pray against it.
Well, I mean, let's be realistic. We're doing the Death Watch, but we hope nobody actually dies.
I can't believe no one picked that Corey guy that's gone back on tour.
Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
No.
He's back on music tours. There's another fucked up guy.
I did not pick him. I will move on to my.
Not either, but I'm just saying, Corey Feldman, if you haven't made your picks.
Oh, could be. Anybody out there still hasn't made picks, you still have time to jump
That's our DK tip of the 2023 Death Watch.
There you go.
Corey Feldman, bonus pick.
Could that be like a Jay Vegas? You got to put some action on that.
Yeah. Sprinkle some whatever it is. He sprinkles
juice. You sprinkle some juice on there.
Some juice. I don't know how you sprinkle juice. I usually pour it, but anyway, got to be a Kingston thing. All right, so you and then me.
Yep. So my picks. I again, like Mike Jolitz, and like I did last year, I say Michael J. Fox again.
You guys must have inside information on this guy.
He's not doing well. He's not doing well.
But he's still doing public appearances, and I know he shakes like a fucking marionette.
He's got MS.
All right.
Hold, because the drink is
right
here.
In the middle. She's got to bring the damn drink. Ladies and gentlemen, we actually got to get a stinger for this. If someone wants to record it. Here's a challenge for you out there while we're waiting, ladies and gentlemen. How about someone from our studio audience records us? Now it's time for Mrs. B's Drink of the Week, and I'll add sound effects and all that.
There you go.
What do we got? I got a cough.
So what is this? A sweet tea teeny. What's in it?
Iced tea.
Iced tea.
Sugar.
Simple syrup.
Fresh lemon juice.
Lemon juice. And vodka. What happened to the root beer?
It was so horrendous it literally made me gag.
We were supposed to do a root beer cream thing, and it had root beer, it had spiced rum, and it had coquito in it. And she's saying that it was terrible. So this is the tea teeny, which I was not prepared for.
With the sweet tea teeny, as I always ask, is that the only one, or is there a jug?
It does taste like just iced tea. I have some more in here.
Okay, you do have extra. It's always nice. Ladies and gentlemen.
She said there's a lot of vodka in here. I don't taste it. I taste the tea.
That's okay.
It's like a Mike's Hard Tea or whatever the fuck it is.
You will sleep well tonight, and you will not have a toothache.
I will not have a toothache for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go further, we will recap Big B's before we get to mine. But Sweet Tea Teeny is the drink of the week. If anyone wants to record a stinger, all you got to do is say, and now it's time for Mrs. B's Drink of the Week. And you send that to me at cavecrewradio@gmail.com. Or if you have me on Facebook, send it by Messenger. I will take it, add some effects, and we will finally have a stinger to this.
There you go.
To this segment. All right, so recapping. Yours were again, because I forgot. I'm so stuck on Will Wheaton, I'm losing my mind.
All right, so I only got through one because then the drink came. So I did Michael J. Fox. Right. My second one is, and I'm surprised nobody picked him, is another potential Hillary target, Elon Musk.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Barack Obama.
No. They're close.
Elon
Musk. And remember, he didn't kill himself.
All right, Elon Musk. Big B is going my route. He's picking way off the grid this year.
Oh, wait till my last one, MC Hammer.
How old is MC Hammer?
He's 60 something.
Wow. See, you do what I usually do, and I'm playing the safe route this year.
Yeah, I got Michael J. Fox, Elon Musk, and MC Hammer.
Wow. Okay. We got some good ones out there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to keep an eye on and see who may or may not win. All right, you ready for this?
This is yours?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready.
I'm going to start off with Henry Kissinger.
Ooh.
I was going to say Jimmy Carter, which no one picked. Someone picked last year, I'm sure.
I picked, somebody picked. I don't think I did, but somebody picked him last year.
So I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to go with Henry Kissinger.
Kissinger, okay.
Then I've got two strange picks for you, and I might have to tell people out there, the younger audience, who these people are. Mm-hmm. Lost in Space was a popular show that they did, I believe, on Amazon Prime or Netflix, and they also did a movie about it. but it was also a very popular show back in the 60s.
60s, yeah.
I am going to pick the original Mrs. Robinson, June Lockhart.
June Lockhart.
And then to bring everyone back even further,
Ooh.
I'm going to go to the original Tonight Show, formerly hosted by Johnny Carson.
Mm-hmm.
And my last pick is going to be Doc Severinsen, the trumpet player in the Tonight Show band. There you go with mine. Yeah. You'll know who he is if you.
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah. I'm writing it down.
So there you go.
Do we have any other picks?
I know, because the one year I was so excited. I was just, I probably had a few too many beers too, which I'm partying tonight, but I mean, like, I had probably like too many, and I just shot out about like 15. It wasn't fair.
Oh, we all had 3, and you just keep saying it throughout the show too. It didn't stop in the segment. Throughout the show, it was just throwing a name out of nowhere. Maybe me. Holy Christ.
Although, but I will ask, who picked Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp. Amanda picked Johnny Depp.
I'm curious why they wouldn't have said Robert Downey Jr. in replacement. That is not a pick.
Oh, he cleaned himself up.
I am sticking to my 3 picks. Excellent picks by everyone. That's awesome. Well, Big B is kind of catching his breath. So let's do a couple things here. And great. We track it all year long. Whenever someone dies, we always post it on Facebook. It's usually Jason or myself. And we're always like, Big B, does anybody have this person? So real-time events. Oh, where do we track it, you ask? Cave Crew Radio on Facebook. Easy to join. We don't turn anyone away. Nobody. All right. Before we go to Mike Jolitz Reads the News, I don't know if anybody remembers this segment, but we got a fun thing coming up. This is a ways down the line. We haven't even brought it into production. But
same game with a twist. Do you think you can guess that song? It's time for Believe It or What?
Just because it was so much fun, and it did not win segment of the year last week. Mike Jolitz Reads the News, which is coming up in just a second, stole that by a landslide. We thought we'd put a twist on Believe It or What, and Big B likes music, and a lot of you out there do. I don't know if you remember the old show, Name That Tune.
Of course.
Or what's that new one that's out there with Jamie Foxx?
I couldn't tell you.
There's some new show on. The young kids will know it. Anyway, you're going to get a clip of a song, different lengths, different genres, and you got to name the song, and you'll get a point. And we're looking for 8 people. And the only person that jumped on board right away was Jason Scott. So I'm sure Big B will sign up, but we're looking for 8 people to come and join us. And this may not be till spring or summer, but just something for you to look forward to.
Oh, I will throw my hat in the ring for sure.
There you go. We got 2. So if you want to play, ladies and gentlemen, that you come on, you name a song, and not me, we're reading various different trivia questions. It's music. It could be jazz, could be country, could be hard rock, could be 90s, 80s, whatever. See how well you know your music on the brand new Believe It or What challenge. So we'll see who signs up to that. But ladies and gentlemen, here's a new poster for a guy that's been with us a long time, and he means the world to us. He gives us a chance to stop talking, and he always bails us out. It's time. And, oh, sorry, Big B, I forgot. He was also the winner of Segment of the Year as chosen by you, the listeners. Here is our first of 2023. Mike Reads the News.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Hello, Cave Crew Radio. How are you guys doing? Yes, I'm doing good. It is Friday, January the 6th, and the year's flying by already, ain't it? Alrighty, guys. It is now time for Mike Reads the News. A sinkhole at the gates to the Oakland Zoo has forced the closure of the zoo. Area police are looking for Chris the Mole Man as his gas has caused damages in the past. Congrats to Lincoln Howard on making it into the top 200 singers of all time, according to Rolling Stone magazine. His work alone on the Rain Dance song should have got him in the top 100 at least. The AVN Awards show is tomorrow night in Las Vegas. Congrats to Tobo and the Vietnamese Wonder on his nomination for Favorite Asian Performer. Steve's Butt Naked Farm in Franklin is proud to announce that they will have nude pickleball. The president of the company, Steve Coetzee, said leagues open in the spring. The author of the New York Times best-selling book Power Sharding has announced his new book, Power Sharding for Couples, is available on hardcover and paperback. Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray had successful surgery on his vagina. He'll be back on the field next season. And finally, in the news, Doritos has released a new potato chip on the market. It's sweet and tangy barbecue. I haven't had them yet. Sounds good, though. There's a rumor another flavor may be released to the general public. They're only available in San Francisco right now, though. They are ass flavored. That's a no for me. Alrighty, guys. I don't have any tidbits today, but I do have Twitter shits for you guys coming up here shortly, a little later in the show. So that does it for me for now, guys. Hope it's a great show so far, and I'll be listening soon. You guys take care. Tschüss, ciao, on a feeder saying bye-bye.
Hot topics, weird news, shock talk radio, cavecrewradio.com.
Fresh off that major victory, he has done some cosmetic improvements to his segment.
For the new year.
Yes. So just like us, always trying to change things.
That's right. We got new posters. He got new effects and new backgrounds going on.
I like it.
It's got good stuff.
He's like, I've already won segment of the year. I'm breaking free. I'm letting my creative juices flow.
Well, now he's trying to win back to back.
Yeah. And he's got to maybe run against himself because later on his Twitter shits, which is an extremely popular segment.
Can you imagine if we have 3 nominations for segment of the year and 2 of them are Mike Jolitz segments?
Well, we also got to get, I'm not letting it go. What was that fucking family? The Robinsons or the...
What family?
Remember he was talking 2-3 weeks ago about the family that moved back home. If he's in chat, he'll...
Wait, did I write him down? Hold on.
He'll have it. He's
the Weavers.
The who?
The Weavers.
Weavers. That's another project I have planned for Cave Crew Radio Season 10 is the Weavers audio drama, which, by the way, folks, will be listening for characters. Big B and I have not begun to write it yet. We have encouraged Mike Jolitz to give us some background on this. He has not. So what happens, Big B, when we do news and they leave us hanging? What do?
We come to our own conclusions and fill in the story.
So if no one's going to help us with the Weavers, we got some great ideas.
We already said characters to be included in the Weavers would be Eduardo, Colonel Lou Caputo,
yes,
Maria Dawson,
yes,
and playing Mr. Weaver would be Richard Atchison.
I have no idea who Richard Atchison is.
It was in one of the stories. I don't know.
Well, can we reach? If someone's playing Mr. Weaver, we need Richard Atchison to read the words. Anyway, that's our last plea with you, Mike Jolis. If you want to give us a backstory of the Weavers, if not, we will write a mini-series of the Weavers moved back in. And if you don't want to play yourself, we will assign someone to play Mike Jolitz. And it could be Jason Scott. So you better play yourself.
Oh yeah. You definitely want to play yourself.
Yeah.
Don't let Jason Scott play Mike Jolitz.
Okay. Not to be outdone by Mike Jolitz with his new little change to his segment. Let's try this. Listen to this.
Behind the headlines this week in Weird News.
Hey, you like that, Mike? You're not the only one going for the 2023 segment of the year.
Where did that come from?
I got it made. I know Mike Jolitz's tricks. I've been around him long enough now, and I knew he was going to throw a swerve at me, and I had to have that created too. So there you go. Behind the headlines this week in Weird News, ladies and gentlemen. And now we turn it over to our senior correspondent of all things Weird News, and that is, of course, Big B. And he has a story about someone that hasn't been using protection.
Yes. The first story of the night comes from the Daily Mail. Headline reads, 102 children, 12 wives, and 568 grandchildren. Ugandan farmer finally decides to stop adding to his family because his income has become lower with the rising cost of living.
I don't even think I've done it 102 times.
Come on.
Okay. Let alone hit that's like nailing 180 every time you fucking screw.
He's very, very virile.
He's very virile and accurate.
Short Size says that's what happens when you don't have Wi-Fi. And he's 100% correct. A Ugandan farmer who has 102 children and 568 grandchildren from 12 wives has finally decided to stop growing his family. Musa Hashaya, who is 67 years old, has now asked his wives to use contraception so they can afford to buy food to eat. He said, my income has become lower and lower over the years due to the rising cost of living, and my family has become bigger and bigger. I married one woman after another. How can a man be satisfied with just one woman? Mr. Hashaya.
That's what masturbation is for.
I mean, he could use
and
a fucking
Pornhub.
He could use a condom.
Yeah.
Mr. Hashaya and his family live in Lusaka in Uganda, where polygamy is legal. He said that all of his wives live in the same house so that he can monitor them, stopping them from eloping with other men. His youngest wife, Zulu Akaya, mother of 11 of his children, said, I'm not having any more children. I've seen the bad financial situation and am now taking the birth control pill.
Good for you, Asila.
About a third of Mr. Hashaya's children aged between 6 and 51 live with him on his farm. If he's 67 and his oldest child is 51, he had his first child when he was 16 years old.
He is very virile, as you said.
His eldest child is 21 years older than his youngest wife.
This guy's good.
And that's where the story abruptly ends. I'm waiting for more, but there is none.
Maybe we'll have one of those follow-up stories.
I would love a follow-up story. Most of the times we have these stories.
When you know, obviously living in that village, there's nothing to do but fuck. And this guy just has the perfect name. And God bless him. What's his name? Mr. Wafula?
Hasaya, whatever it was. I closed out of the story because I don't remember.
All right. So anyway, whatever his name is, this next story may help. It comes from a different part of the world, but maybe he needs one of these, Big B.
That's right. This coming from this next story comes from the AP. Headline reads: South Korea lifts ban on imported sex dolls.
Were they only allowing generic ones the whole time?
They were only allowing in-country made sex dolls.
I got you. Okay, so hey, made in America. You guys branded that.
There you go. Well, maybe they can export to Uganda.
help with the child.
That's right.
The explosion of population they have.
South Korea has formally lifted a ban on the import of full-body sex dolls, ending years of debate over how much the government can interfere with private life. Although there are no laws or regulations banning the import of sex dolls, hundreds and perhaps thousands have been seized by the customs, which cited a clause in the law that bans the import of goods that harm the country's beautiful traditions and public moral.
Okay, sounds like the Catholic Church, but just asking a question, you might answer it later on in the story. What exactly do we do with these hundreds of thousands of sex dolls that are seized at the border? Just curious.
I'm sure they don't answer it in the story, and I wouldn't know.
Facebook user says, dolls are creepy and that's scary. Having her sitting there, plus they don't close her legs.
Is that Facebook? Is that Amanda?
I have no idea. And when we're in this, I don't see. Later I can go look.
No, I'm asking
Amanda because of the face palm.
Facebook user, please state your name.
Yes,
and I believe it's Amanda. Yes, it's Amanda.
It is Amanda, and thank you for noticing that she doesn't close her legs. You know, Amanda will always sit as a lady.
Yes, she will, and she has a sharp eye for the stories that we do. Yeah. Importers
put her leg over the fucking thing instead of her pussy hanging out through the fucking see-through dress.
I've another question about this doll.
Okay. Do I need to bring up a...
Could you please bring up the there you go. If you look at the doll, why does it have glasses?
Well, maybe it's short-sighted. I have no idea. Or maybe the guy who's trying to get the law banned as a fetish and has her in the ready position.
Oh, he likes girls with glasses, huh? So he bought a pair.
And yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Just curious. Importers complained and took their case to courts, most of which agreed with them and ordered customs to release the sex dolls, saying they are used in people's private spaces and do not undermine human dignity.
So the sex dolls were never destroyed. That's the answer to my. They had the sex dolls in captivity. This is like Planet of the Apes. Write this down. This could be another mini series.
The imprisoned sex dolls.
And they're released. He demanded that the sex dolls be released. However you say that in Korean. I'm not good at foreign languages.
Hold, I'm writing things down.
I don't want that for a show note. I'm thinking maybe this happens during the Weavers or something.
Oh, Mike Jolitz, could the Weavers possibly be sex doll importers?
Right. This could get more interesting in any minute. So that answered my question, Big B. Thank you. They did not destroy the sex dolls. They kept them in I don't know, a sea can or a cupboard or some drawers or whatever. And all those sex dolls that were on mothballs, they've been released.
Hold on.
What a bunch of happy fucking Koreans. 2023 is going to be a great year in Korea, and there'll be no kids, you fucking idiot, in Africa because they're fucking sex dolls. And they can't get pregnant.
On Monday, the Korean Customs Service said in a statement that it began enforcing a revised guideline for import of life-size adult sex dolls. It said it reviewed recent court rulings and opinions from relevant government agencies, including the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. The Customs Service said it will still ban the import of childlike sex dolls or others embodying certain people. It said other countries like the United States, Australia, and the UK also ban childlike sex dolls, which I agree.
Well, yeah, that's common sense.
You absolutely don't want to promote that.
Yeah.
While the decision reflects South Korea's slow yet gradual moves to restrict state interference into personal lives, some women's rights and conservative organizations will likely again voice their opposition to the use of sex dolls. They say they deepen sexual objectification of women and undermine public morale or moral.
Question from Shortside in chat. So we got to look. He's wondering if the two people behind are also sex dolls or perhaps wax figures like the guy on the cane. He does kind of look like he's from Madame Tussauds.
And he's hunched a little bit. So, it could be, for the same sex liking people.
That's the new decrepit range. Yeah, all right. We've been all over the globe. You done with this?
Well, we do have a statement from a company that imports sex dolls.
Oh, that's important.
Care and Share Company, a South Korean company that imports sex dolls, said in a statement that it was deplorable for the Customs Service to lift the import ban after allegedly wasting taxpayers' monies for lawsuits with importers. The company said it has suffered immense losses. It said South Korea must reform other regulations that have a negative impact on the economy.
There you go, folks. We another 2 stories in a row that may have follow-up. 2 stories in a row. Can't remember what this story is, but I know it's like, how about, do you people enjoy making your own hamburgers? Do you enjoy takeout? This young lady took things into her own hand when she was ordering.
This comes from the New York Post. Headline reads, ranting woman jumps McDonald's counter, makes own burger in wild rampage.
And no one stopped her.
Can you please have something ready for me?
Oh, hang on 1 sec. I know what you're calling for, and we still have it.
Yes, don't play it.
It's happened where? On TikTok.
Did I do it too soon?
Yes, you did. But that's okay. That's okay. We get the point. Yes, it's on TikTok. This McDonald's meal came with additional charges. A woman has been arrested after she was seen in a viral TikTok video screaming at McDonald's staff before jumping the counter and making herself a burger. The 19-year-old, who has not been publicly named and shamed, was subsequently charged with disorderly behavior, property damage, and assault over the incident, which occurred in Adelaide, Australia last week.
Oh, this wasn't even the United States.
The cause of the crop top-clad customer's outburst was unclear, but the TikTok clip showed her hurling abuse at stunned employees. "I will beat you up or I will leave," the unruly patron said, which doesn't make sense. If that is your options, either get beat up or leave, okay, I choose leave. Go.
Yeah, leave. And go ahead, make your own burger. It's not pretty hard at McDonald's.
No, it's freeze-dried, whatever crap. This video has
you're not at hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, right? Like we're not at Burger King,
right? This video has 75,000 views.
That's pretty low compared to a lot of stories, though.
The woman then wanders into the back kitchen where she nonsensically screams at more staff before making herself a burger. She later helps herself to a bottle of water from inside the refrigerator before eventually being detained by 2 cops.
It tells us nothing about the burger, though. I want to know more about the burger. What was missing from the cheeseburger, the quarter pounder, the Big Mac, whatever it was? What was missing? What did she have to change?
It's not going to say. But TikTok viewers were left stunned by her brazen antics, with one writing, "It's really sad. People have to go to work and deal with this stuff. People need to pay for their actions," another wrote, saying they hope the customer faces the full force of the law. But while the woman's antics may have stunned TikTok, it's not the only fast food franchise incident to incite headlines in recent months. Meanwhile, a video going viral on Twitter this week.
Twitter, Mike Jolitz.
There you go.
Mike Jolitz.
Shows several women brawling with workers at a Waffle House in Austin, Texas, after they became angered by slow service. Back in August, an employee at a Brooklyn McDonald's was shot and killed by a customer who reportedly complained about cold fries.
You know, like when I don't know about you, but when I get an order wrong or something's fucked up, I usually just call. Yeah, I'm annoyed because I'm really excited about my, Big Mac meal. And if they miss something, they'll say, hey, next meal's free or whatever. Or we'll bring out a new meal. Yeah, no need to shoot anyone.
No, it's, it's sad. This is where we are in this country at this time.
And Shorts Eye said it wasn't Florida. Now, Shorts Eye, only because I know you very sparingly come to see us anymore. We do have Florida. We probably won't have time to get to it. We might. But if not, it's going to be all Florida next week because my bucket is overflowing with Florida right now. But yeah, we still have other things we got to get to. So we might not get to it. We'll see. But that's a reason for you to come back.
There you go.
I don't know why you leave us and come every 6 months.
Because it's 4:00 in the morning over there.
It doesn't matter. He's obviously up. He's having a good time. He's sitting with us now. We're a reason to stay awake. We're on Pulse Talk Radio in the UK.
There you go.
What did he say? 500 listeners?
Did he? I don't remember the number that you said.
Maybe he's got us on shortwave. I have no idea. Anyway, folks, check your buttocks, or at least check what you're using for butt plugs when it comes to the next story.
And I will warn you in the next story, it doesn't say how, so don't ask the question. We have to come to our own conclusion.
You know what I'm going to do.
We are going to come to our own conclusions. This story comes from Fox 10 in Phoenix. Headline reads, hospital evacuated over elderly man with explosive lodged in his rectum.
In his ass.
He had a bomb in his bum.
Excuse me.
There you go. A French hospital was reportedly evacuated after an 88-year-old arrived with an artillery shell lodged in his rectum. It happened Saturday at Hospital Saint-Meuse in Toulon in southern France.
Nothing has happened in the United States or Canada tonight. I'm so proud.
The French publication Var Martin reported the elderly man had a World War I artillery shell partially inside him. Parts of the hospital were evacuated and emergency patients were diverted as they dealt with the delicate situation. The shell was about 8 inches long and 2 inches wide. Doctors were able to safely remove the shell and the patient was reportedly doing fine. Now, that is where the story ends, but there is a whole other story that is yet to be told as to how and why that wound up in his anus. I
Right.
think I know.
Oh,
But
you tell me, because I only have questions. That's a big shell. I don't know if it was what do they call that when they're in war? CCD, or what do they call that when they go cuckoo?
PTSD.
PTSD or something, like either that or he's having a good. He was having a nightmare. That he was captured by the Germans, and you fucking. He was French, so it wasn't American. You fucking Frenchman, take this, and he shoved up his ass during the dream. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that he was feeling a bit randy at 80 years old.
A bit randy.
He was feeling a bit randy and had nobody around him in the home, and had some artifacts from his time in the war, and decided, let me see what happens. That's what I think happened. And I think Short Sai agrees with me. He says explosive sexual gratification.
You don't think it was like suicide?
It's from World War I. No.
You don't think
it's
okay.
also an artillery shell, so it needs to be hit, and it needs gunpowder. So no, he's not doing that out of his ass.
So you don't think he shoved up his ass and he thought, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fucking flop on my ass in the emergency room, and it's gonna explode?
No, because it wouldn't. It needs the gunpowder, the force of the hammer hitting the back. Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
See, this. But anyone that would shove an 8-inch, 2-inch wide artillery shell up their ass may have other motives.
Possibly. I think he was just feeling randy, got excited, took a blue pill, and didn't know what to do with himself.
And jacked off with a fucking 8-inch artillery shell up his ass. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we're kicking off 2023.
Hey, you don't want to fill in the stories for us? We do it.
Yeah, we've warned you before. And please don't leave us. We have Twitter shits coming up if we're losing you. But this is just something we do. I haven't seen a PT Cruiser in a long time, and this involves, it involves the anus, so everything is like running along now.
Everything comes together in the end. Yeah. This story comes from M Live. Headline reads, drunken man poops on PT Cruiser, tells hospital staff his blood will be pure natural ice.
Ooh, this is good.
Anybody, any of you alcoholics out there know natural ice?
I have no idea. And you know me, I drink quite a bit. What is natural ice?
Natural ice is like I think it's an Anheuser-Busch product. It's like a watered down beer. It's beer. So they have, I don't know if you remember in the 90s, they had like Bud Ice and all of this ice stuff. So natural, and then they had natural ice, natural light, and natural ice. So natural ice, those are good for the alcoholics because there's a lot of water in it. It's not a high alcohol content, so they can continue drinking.
It hydrates them. Okay, so this is like so it's a value to the alcoholics.
Right. They can keep drinking it without feeling the effects. It's not as
right. They just have diarrhea constantly.
Basically.
Gotcha.
So coming from Kalamazoo, Michigan this time, conservation officers with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources recently had an encounter that is hard to believe. And it involves a PT Cruiser, owls, poop, and natural ice.
Owls. I can't wait.
According to an official DNR report, the bizarre incident occurred in early December at the Gourd Neck State Game Arena in Kalamazoo County, when conservation officers Cameron Wright and Joshua Salas came across a PT Cruiser parked at one of the entrances. The man in the vehicle said he parked there to listen to the owls and that he wanted to be left alone. But the COs noticed an open, tall container of natural ice beer in the cup holder.
Okay, so this is all tying together now.
They then asked the man on a scale of 1 to 10 how drunk he was, and he responded with, "I'm at a 5. I'll be honest, I'm drunk." At least he's
Usually
honest.
I'm like a 7 before I even admit I'm starting to get tipsy.
Based on the response, the officers began conducting sobriety tests. But
what are you at right now?
We're like a 2.
Oh, geez.
I
You
drink
gotta
like a
more.
fish every week. I'm fine.
You got to drink more. Fucking, you're not even a 5 yet.
It takes a
You're
lot.
not even,
It takes a
you're
lot.
not even
to get me
listening
out of
to
bed.
owls, for God's sakes.
I've been drinking peanut butter whiskey. I've drank 2 glasses of the tea teeny and finished the shaker. I have my beer that's almost done. And yeah, I'm at a 2.
You need another beer. Anyway, so he's at a 5. He's listening to the owls. Continue. I'm sorry.
Based on the response, the officers began conducting sobriety tests. But partway through, the man made a face of shock, grabbed his rear, dropped his pants to his ankles, and began defecating on the rear bumper of his PT Cruiser.
He did the caca macarena.
Hold while I write things down.
I get that way. You know, sometimes you really got to go to the bathroom. You're squeezing your butt, right? Like, should I let the dogs out now or should I run to the toilet? I really feel like I've had something to drink. I got to say, but he made a face.
He made a face.
Grabbed his butt.
Mm-hmm.
And then defecated on the bumper of the PT Cruiser.
On the rear bumper of his PT Cruiser. He was arrested. And was taken to the hospital for a blood draw. On the way there, the man noticed that CO Wright was using his GPS and said, "Man, I'm drunk. I'm the drunk one here, and I have to give you directions on how to take me to jail, you moron."
I love this guy.
During the blood draw, the man also mentioned that the nurses were not drawing his blood, but instead said, and I quote, "It's all beer. Not going to lie to you, pure natural ice."
I have not had any food. It is all beer.
The man was lodged in the Kalamazoo County Jail, and charges were submitted to the prosecutor's office for review.
All right, so before we go to Mike Jolett's Twitter shits, let's again put on our hats. How would you react as the constable, as the policeman, as the guy gets a look of horror on his face, grabs his ass? So you're like, this is easy. He's being cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to tase him. No need to get wild, Sergeant Kolesko. What is your reaction to this as a cop? I mean, because you're an upstanding citizen. What is your reaction? Maybe you've seen it all. Maybe you haven't.
And I'm basing this upon all the TV shows that you and I used to love watching, Live PD. And there were a number of times where there was a drunk suspect that pissed himself. There was a few that shit themselves. They just look at it and they look at it as, it's one of those. They've been there. They've done that. It's one of those. They just throw them in the back of the car, take them to jail, and somebody hoses out the car.
So nobody has to bag the evidence off the PT Cruiser.
No, nobody's bagging evidence of crap.
No. Okay. It just happens. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
It's left for it to return to Earth, basically.
For the cleanup crew.
Right.
Or perhaps the owls may find
Perhaps the owls, if there's peanuts or corn in there, they may have a nice snack.
Undigested peanuts or corn, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Another segment, ladies and gentlemen, as we get through the news. It's been a great night tonight with you. As I said, we do have Florida in the news, but I think it's going to carry the next week because we're quickly running out of time. And I also have a tip of the week I'd like to share with you all. But before we do that, an extremely popular segment that came upon us at the end of last year, and that is Mike Joliet's Twitter Shits.
Now, it's time for another edition of Twitter Shits with Mike Jolitz.
Mike Joliet's Twitter Shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joliet's Twitter Shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joliet's Twitter Shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right. All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Twitter Shit. Yes, guys, it is now time for the weekly reply to stupidity on the internet. Alrighty, guys, here's the backstory. So, yeah, Dave Bautista, the former wrestler, he's done playing the role of whatever Marvel bullshit he was playing. At any rate, this was all taken a little out of context. He called it a silly performance. I didn't read the whole thing, but that's just what I gathered. Here are the epic tweets from the internet. Jeffrey D tweeted, probably the biggest role he will ever have. Diana Eggs, he's awesome as Drax and literally terrible in everything else. Shit. Not holding back today, guys. Not holding back. Matt Schultze, for what it's worth, I'm also relieved that he's out of the Marvel universe. At Man Candy tweeted, always ungrateful for the opportunity he was given. Paul Dirty Sanchez tweeted, a known crybaby, once again crying. At Alfred Your Mom tweeted, I always considered him too serious a thespian for Marvel. Derek Ramsey tweeted, funny, it's his best performance as an actor in my opinion. At Jeff Mays tweeted, he has the acting ability of a turnip, which is why he made a decent Drax. They didn't explore the character more because he couldn't handle it. At Michael Times 2 tweeted, we're glad he's out as well. At Mark Jolly tweeted, he has the acting depth of a pet rock. His muscles are what gets him any roles. At Tim Judas tweeted, very humble statement. I hope he does continue to improve his acting. Would be cool to see. At Cody G kind of concurred with Tim Judas there, tweeted out, now he's got time to learn how to act. At Tim Paradiddle tweeted out, below grade actor. Silly performances are perfected and remembered because of below grade actors like him. At Philip Phi Beta Kappa tweeted, he was the best part of Guardians. At Stephen A tweeted, thanks for sharing. At Tim Conway tweeted, but you pick up a guy by his balls and slam him. Isn't that just as silly? And finally in the Twitter shits, at Colt Whitey tweeted, says the man who wore a Speedo and threw around other men in a ring for a year in scripted sports entertainment. Alrighty, guys, well, that does it for this Twitter shits. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great rest of the show, whatever's left, guys. Peace out. And yeah.
Mike Joliet's Twitter Shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joliet's Twitter Shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joliet's Twitter Shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right. All right.
Bam! We are back again for number 10. Cave Crew Radio, Season 10. Let's go. CaveCrewRadio.com.
So if you're like me and just read, like, kind of go through Twitter and read the headlines, Mike dives much deeper, Poor Dave Bautista. I can't imagine no Drax, Guardian of the Galaxy.
I have to say, I liked Drax in Guardian of the Galaxy. You know, he didn't have to be a thespian fucking Shakespeare actor in that. The character himself was dumb, so he was perfect for it. I liked Drax in Guardians.
Yeah, no Drax, no Groot, no Guardians.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, Peter's good. I like I don't forget the actor's name that plays him, but Peter's good, and of course Rocket. Rocket's always funny.
Yeah, the squirrel, the raccoon.
The raccoon, yeah. But yeah, Drax is great.
And he was in Dune, and he was just in that Netflix murder mystery, Onion something.
I have no idea about anything else he's done other than Guardians.
I think they're picking on Dave Bautista, and I don't know if I'd want to pick on him or not.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other story.
He's a pretty big guy. But anyway, there you go. Twitter Shits, brand new segment as of last fall is when I think we've done about 4 of them now. Well, we haven't. Mike has.
And it could be nominated for segment of the year.
It could be. But we also have this segment because we don't have time for Florida in the news. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really sure how this started. Maybe Big B can help you, but I apparently have been stuck with.
Now, it's time for DK's Big Tip of the Week.
Yeah, we've done sex education. I don't know. We've done a few things.
Leaving family gatherings.
Yeah, the Irish goodbye. Yeah. And then I think we missed it because of time constraints. But I do have a couple saved up, but I might be a little late on this one, Big B.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I don't know about you. I have an artificial Christmas tree.
I do too.
But there's still a lot of people that have. I got the wrong one. I should have the right story before I go. There's a lot of people that have real Christmas trees, and this would be the time of year that you're, disposing of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always looking for ways of recycling, making the world better. So my tip of the week comes from the New York Post.
Okay.
People are discarding their Christmas trees, of course,
mm-hmm.
by eating them.
What?
The end of the holiday season means that people are getting rid of their Christmas trees in mass. But some are keeping their holiday evergreens alive by eating them.
How the fuck do you eat a tree?
Listen to my tip of the week. The latest trend has people giving their beloved Christmas trees new life by using their ingredients as recipes. According to author Julia Gargelis, author of How to Eat Your Christmas Tree, you can pretty much eat the whole thing. Now, this was one of those, not a GoFundMe, but what do they call it when you're launching a new product? It's like a GoFundMe, but it has a different name. Anyway, I found this when she was launching this. Listen to Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia, a baker from London. Let me tell you about my cookbook. How to Eat Your Christmas Tree is a cookbook that explores the unsung edible heroes of our forests, the humble Christmas trees and their evergreen friends. As well as recipes for cooking with pine, fir, and spruce, this book aims to encourage resourcefulness around one of the most wasteful times of year, Christmas. Globally, evergreens are seen as symbols of strength, resilience, and everlasting life, But once Christmas is over, we see our streets flooded with millions of discarded trees ready for landfill. In the US and UK alone, 40 million trees are harvested and thrown away each year. My Little Green Cookbook's 22 delicious recipes, with ideas such as Christmas tree cured salmon, spruce flavoured ice cream, and Christmas tree alcohol, ask that we extend the life of our Christmas tree.
Okay, so she goes on and on and on and on, but you can see she's pretty fucked up. But leave an idea, someone's going to take it. You can pretty much eat the whole thing, Julia says, author of How to Eat a Christmas Tree. You can use the needles as you would rosemary or bay leaves for flavor. She shared that pine needles can be used in the same way. You can blend them in vinegar and crush it to flavor gin. She also recommended putting sections of the Christmas tree in a hot oven until they are charred, and then putting them in a blender to create a pine ash to create for flavor. Another use for pine needles is pickling eggs or vegetables or putting them in drinks and infusions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my tip of the week. I never would have thought of this, Big B. In all my wildest dreams, when I'm looking for tips of the week, I'm always looking for ways to help people. We're dragging those trees to the street.
Mm-hmm.
End up at a landfill and eventually end up as, mulch, which is probably good for the environment as well.
It is.
Trees do not destroy the environment like plastic or paper or any of that stuff. But this young lady got the GoFundMe or whatever it is. It has a different name. I can't think of it now. And she produced this cookbook with, I believe, 23 different recipes that you can use with your Christmas tree. And that's my tip of the week. You like to smoke food. You like to make your own sauces and rubs.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you could next year get a real Christmas tree. Mrs. B could make you a fancy drink. You could use these in your cooking, and we could start to recycle Christmas trees.
So is she the type of person that, like, if you invite her over to your house, you have to make sure, you have to check on her every now and then that she's not on your stairs gnawing at the spindles?
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
she sees wood and gets hungry?
Or she sees your poinsettia plant is another popular plant at Christmas time. Perhaps I can make this into a delicious recipe book.
She's a fucking retard.
I'm just saying, these are where my tips of the week come from. I don't have this is New York Post. This is real, folks.
Oh, I know it's real. And so let me debate that her point of it goes to landfills. So one, as you said, they're not bad for the environment. They decay and go down and fertilize the ground. Two, at least here in New York, when they are picked up, they are sent to a special place, not to a landfill, but turned into mulch purposely.
Yes.
And then sold for gardening and whatnot. But let's just say, let's go on the premise that they are sent to the landfill. There is no harm in it going to a landfill. It is one of the most harmless things on the planet. It fertilizes the ground and makes it ripe for nutrients.
Do you see what Short Size suggests?
Or you could use them instead of explosive shells.
That's a great idea.
You take the tip of the tree, and instead of a World War I artillery shell, you use the top of the tree and see where things go.
It's a ribbed adventure.
Hold.
It would be, wouldn't it? I mean, but folks, this is the woke culture that we live in. And it's the only reason I I had another story, which I probably will do next week or the week after, whenever we get to this segment. But I saw this and I thought, this is the world we live in. Okay, we're trying. What are we going to recycle next? You can cook your own feces into stew.
Well, the guy who pooped on his PT Cruiser might have some recipes.
Why just spray it off like Big B suggested when it can be recycled into owl food or something? This is the New York Post, ladies and gentlemen. These people report on everything. This is not bullshit. You heard her talking. She's trying to sell her book. The book got published. People are buying it. People are boiling pine leaves and mixing it with their gin or their morning tea with chamomile leaves or using it like rosemary and bay leaves. I don't have the time for this. I don't have a real tree, but if I did.
Now, I want to know who's worse, her for publishing the book or the idiots buying the book. I say the ones buying the book because you can do anything to try to make a buck.
So she does this GoFundMe and says that's the audio I played. She had this video and she had 15,000 pounds raised towards this book.
That's
so
crazy.
Someone is there, and look, I'm all for a good cause. Save the Uganda babies, like Short Size says. I'll always give to charity of food banks wherever things are needed. People need mittens. I get it. 15,000 pounds raised for this fucking nutcase to write a book on eating a Christmas tree. Maybe, who knows? It's the next hit song at Christmas time.
And now, so most people don't live in their own house where you have a yard, let's say, you have room to do this. So if you're living in an apartment, are you supposed to go rent a chainsaw to cut this tree up? How is this supposed to work for the normal human beings out there, not the idiots that fucking follow this moron? How is it supposed to work where they're, are they supposed to sit there with a butter knife and pretend like they're in prison every little day? They get a little further, and in 20 years they fucking free a stump.
Right. The Charlie Brown Christmas tree has a new origin. Right. That frail little thing that Charlie Brown found.
But everybody made it nice because they stole Snoopy's decorations.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most popular parts of the show is when we name the show. And usually both Big B and myself's bladders are completely breaking at this point. But we still stick it out just for you. I had a few things written down, and I have some that are more favored than others. As a show note, I wrote down from Short Side, that's what happens when you don't have Wi-Fi.
There you go. I like that.
I also wrote down Mrs. B's drink. I loved it. A sweet tea teeny. I can't remember where I got this from, but it was the Vietnamese Wonder. I believe it was Mike Jolitz that said power sharding for couples. But I did have two favorites. I'd like to move forward into the show name category, ladies and gentlemen. And there's two. One was a bomb in his bum.
For sure.
Very simple, great show name. The other one I wrote down that I really, really like and is my favorite this week is he was feeling a little bit randy.
Feeling a little bit randy. Is that too long?
I don't think so. I really like that, but
Okay.
Bombing his bum was pretty good too. I think you wrote down 5 if I was estimating you correctly.
6.
Oh, 6. I missed one. What do you got?
First for show note. He demanded the sex dolls be released.
That was good, eh?
That's definitely a show, a nomination for a show note. It's much too long for a show name. Next up.
What a great statement. What a great statement.
It's a great statement. And on its own, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No.
Next one up. I'm driving, but listening.
While texting.
That was Amanda.
Good one.
Next up, it's a ribbed adventure. We were just speaking about that.
It's a ribbed adventure. Okay.
Next one up, we go all the way back to the beginning of the show. And we were talking about ordering Chinese food. Dick Gunna, his son.
Can you spell that?
It's D-I-C-K.
Yeah.
G-O-N-N-A. His son.
Good one.
Dick Gunna, his son.
Yes, that was good. I remember that now.
Next up, from Short Sigh, we have very simple, loose owls.
Oh, good one.
But I have my favorite.
Okay.
And it was said by you during the same story. The Caca Macarena.
And I do always, I like that as well. And I might have gone long with he's feeling a bit randy, which would be a good show note, but a bomb in his bum was good as well. But as always, I will succeed and go with the Caca Macarena. Some great show notes for our first show of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, we will have a lot of Florida because I missed some this week. Plus, I gave Big B a lot, and you guys know what comes up with Florida. It's going to be some fun. I also have a tip of the week that I didn't use, so if it's available, and of course we'll have Mike Jolitz and of course our epicenters and all that good stuff. Great show, folks. Keep an eye, by the way, on the Facebook page, Cave Crew Radio. Is all you got. It's simple. It's the name of the show, Cave Crew Radio on Facebook. You join the group. If anyone dies, we will immediately alert Big B, and he will say no one has it, or he will say we have a winner.
That's right. Yay or nay.
Yay or nay. If you're feeling a little bit like you're into sports, we're here Monday for Pucks and Pints. If not, we will see you next week.
Later.
Thank you to all the listeners on our affiliate stations. To find out more, check out Cave Crew Radio on Facebook and Twitter.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here!
Go. Just go. Get out. Get the hell out.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice.